Sinking driveway, settling patio, collapsing stoop, uneven pool deck. It's a fact. Concrete problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call APS.
This is the afternoon edition of the Daily Weather Briefing video. This is for Monday, the 12th of December. I'm James Spann. Alabama's weather stays relatively quiet tomorrow. Then a very wet day on Wednesday. Heavy rain, strong storms, better chance of severe weather over the southwestern part of the state. And then we turn much colder by the end of this week and the upcoming weekend, and Christmas is looking pretty cold at this point. So let's dive in and talk about it. This is the upper air look across the country early this morning. And we got a big trough in the western states. Cold. They've had snow down to the mountains of Arizona today, and that's going to be setting up a blizzard for parts of the high plains over the next 36 hours. And around here in advance of that, a lot of clouds around. Now, some places are sunny. The far northern counties of the state, near the Tennessee state line, mostly sunny there. We've got some sun for southwest Alabama, but most of the state socked in with clouds. But despite the clouds, just not much happening on radar. That's the radar composite. Doing this update live about 2:40 this afternoon. And noticeably cooler today for the northern counties of the state. Temperatures are below average for a change. Birmingham at 56. It's only 54 for Cullman and Haleyville. But South Alabama noticeably warmer. Mobile at 70, Dothan at 65. But again, everybody gets into colder air later this week. So it's a messy storm coming out of the Rockies. Again, we have blizzard warnings in effect for parts of Colorado, Nebraska, Wyoming, South Dakota, and the southeastern corner of Montana. Winter storm warnings up into parts of North Dakota and Minnesota. And, of course, that's in the cold sector. And then in the warm sector, we have the chance of strong to severe storms tonight for parts of the southern plain states down into North Texas. This is tomorrow. We have an enhanced risk of severe weather that is level 3 out of 5 over parts of central and northern Louisiana back into eastern Texas. The broader risk runs over into Mississippi. And then on day 3, which is Wednesday, we have a risk of severe storms over the southern counties of Mississippi, Alabama, the Florida Panhandle, and southeast Louisiana. And in Alabama, that level 2 out of 5 risk is south of a line from near York to Greenville to Abbeville, the counties in yellow. And then just north of that, there is a marginal risk as far north as Utah, Montgomery, and Eufaula. And to the north, we don't expect any severe weather for North Alabama because the air should be too stable. We'll take a look at the specific parameters for Wednesday here in just a second, but a good soaking statewide. Now, this is rain for the next 7 days, and quite frankly, much of this will be falling Wednesday and Wednesday night. And this is suggesting many places around here will see rain amounts between 2 and 3 inches, and there might be some isolated flooding problems by Wednesday night or early Thursday morning before the rain moves out. So, model fans, let's go. This is the GFS. This is the 12Z run, valid tomorrow afternoon at 4. And you can see the trough is progressive. It's moving out. Got a pretty intense upper low that's over Nebraska. And down below that, a surface low is under 1,000 millibars. And that's going to set up the stage for that whopper of a snowstorm. And again, blizzard conditions north and west of the surface low, parts of Nebraska and the Dakotas. And then in the warm sector east of the dry line, we've got severe storms tomorrow and tomorrow night. And again, those will be moving on into parts of Louisiana, Arkansas, and western Mississippi tomorrow night. And then on Wednesday, that batch of rain and storms comes in here. And we note the GFS continues to depict a secondary surface low forming near Tupelo. But let's look at the high-res NAM. We're now within range within our 60-hour window here. So this is 6 o'clock Wednesday evening. And at that point, we should have rain and storms in progress over the northern two-thirds of the state. And the storms will be approaching southwest Alabama. For those of you in Mobile and southwest Alabama in that severe weather threat, it's beginning to look more and more like this might be a Wednesday night situation for you. This is the instability off the high-res NAM. Again, this is valid Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock. And you can see there is none for most of Alabama except for that southeastern corner of the state. And this is the STP, the significant tornado parameter. And you got a few spots up in the 4 and 5 unit range. So the numbers are significant there. So there could be a few isolated tornadoes over southwest Alabama Wednesday evening and Wednesday night. But again, for the rest of the state with no instability, we just don't expect any severe weather for places like really Montgomery, Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden, Tuscaloosa, Huntsville, Muscle Shoals. Just a lot of rain. And again, there could be some flooding issues maybe by Wednesday night. So Thursday, it's all gone. The rain will be ending during the pre-dawn hours Thursday. The sky will clear. Temperatures will likely hold in the 50s on Thursday. And then Friday, looking cold and dry. The sky will be sunny. Highs in the 40s and 50s for the northern half of the state. Maybe 60s for South Alabama, but again, the day looks dry. And this is Saturday as the weekend begins and a new push of colder air drops in. For much of North Alabama, highs will be in the 40s. And again, there's a little feature to the west, but again, Saturday looking dry and cold. And then Sunday, we're still dry. That feature is shunted far, far to the south in the Gulf of Mexico. So even on the Gulf Coast, I think the chance of rain this weekend is low. And again, Sunday, highs in the 40s for North Alabama, 50s for the southern counties of the state. Bottom line is now, at the moment, the weekend is looking cold and dry. And this is a week from today, Monday, the 19th of December. A new trough back in the northwest, and the GFS depicting rain west of the state. However, the European is much faster. It brings in rain with that next feature on Monday. So there's a lot of uncertainty involving specific weather next week, and that's typically what happens with an active southern branch of the jet stream, which is what we'll have. But again, if you believe the European solution, it could rain as early as Monday of next week. Let's go out 10 days. This is back to the GFS. This is Thursday of next week, the 22nd of December. Big trough in the western states. And again, if this is right, we're cold and dry. And really cold air covers much of the contiguous United States. That's a 1,048 millibar high that's over western Nebraska. That is really cold air. This is rain for Birmingham coming off the GFS ensemble, the mean between 2 and 3 inches between now and the 28th of December. And I think we're going to see more than that. We're going to see that probably just Wednesday of this week. And the numbers are coming down. National blend of models for Birmingham, we've got 61 tomorrow, 65 Wednesday. And then by the time the weekend gets here, highs in the 40s will be in the 20s by Sunday morning. And next week looks pretty cold. Again, this runs out through Friday, December 23rd, almost out there to Christmas. And you can see cold air stays in place much of next week. And this is right out of the gate here, hot off the presses, the new CPC outlook. This is for December 20th through December the 26th. And it looks awfully cold. And again, we've got potential for a cross-polar flow and some really cold air to dive into the contiguous United States. And again, for Alabama, we just don't know how cold at Christmas, but it looks cold. And now remember, as you look at the map, the average high here for Christmas Day is 57. The average low is 37. So a below average high would be 50 during the day. But I think it's going to be colder than that. The pattern just looks cold. And just for the fun of it, come on. If you watch these videos, you understand this is nothing but voodoo. This is the GFS deterministic look for Christmas Eve, and it's got a swath of snow here. But trust me, that'll go away on the next one. But something like that might happen at some point in this colder air mass, but it just looks pretty cold around Christmas time. Hey, let's roll some Pepsi Kid Cam video. What do you say today? Locust Fork Elementary School, home of the Hornets. Had a lunchroom full. That's a good-looking group in there. We had a great time today talking about science and meteorology and math and technology. It was great. And look at these cookies. How do they do that? That's talking about technology. I mean, that's pretty outstanding. But again, to all the kids at Locust Fork Elementary School, we had a great time today. You guys were looking good. Thanks a lot for a great visit earlier today. So, got a busy week ahead. Tomorrow I'll be in Hale County at Greensboro. Wednesday I've got Simmons Middle School, which is in Hoover. Thursday, Phil Campbell, Alabama, up in Franklin County. And then Friday we'll close it out at Center Point, and that will do it for the school programs for the year 2022. Christmas break is next week, and then we'll be back with a jam-packed calendar for January of 2023. If you're new here, welcome. We do these twice a day. We've been doing these. They used to be called the Weather Extreme videos. We've been doing these for, almost 20 years. The morning edition is live on YouTube and Facebook about 5:15 a.m. Central. This one, the afternoon edition, about 2:30 Central. And again, we'll simulcast on my YouTube and Facebook channel. And weekends is necessary. We do them every day, Monday through Friday. We have notes on the blog. That is alabamawx.com. That's kind of the hub of where we put all of our products over there. And, of course, if you can, join us. We'll cross the hall over here in the Studio A, ABC 3340 News this evening at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. And don't forget Weather Brains tonight for Weather Weenies. YouTube.com/weatherbrains for the video version, podcast version, any of your favorite podcast apps. Again, we record those Monday nights. We'll be live tonight at 7 Central. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.
Sinking driveway? Call Alabama Professional Services. Settling patio? Call APS. Uneven pool deck? Call APS. Collapsing stoop? Call APS. Cracking sidewalk? That's right. Call APS. It's a fact. Concrete problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call APS. Call Alabama Professional Services today.